I am often asked, what can I do to help us win, to preserve and protect this great nation? How do I wake people up? And my friends, it is difficult. That is the truth. I don't have all the answers. What I can tell you right now is there's one simple thing you can do. Do not buy Tyson foods. When you go to the grocery store to pick up whatever it is you need to pick up, if you see Tyson anywhere on that bag, you say, I will not buy. A boycott has begun after Tyson announced they would be laying off American workers and hiring up to 42,000 criminal aliens. Of course, they like to say asylum seekers, but we know these people aren't really seeking asylum. They are Democrats' plan. They are criminal aliens coming into this country, economic migrants breaking our laws and being given sanctuary by Democrats to help preserve their electoral power, which is ill-gotten. Tyson sees an opportunity, a capitalist opportunity. If Democrats are going to bring these people in and give them work permits, we can hire them as an underclass and pay them dirt. Oh boy, it's beginning to look a lot like slavery. It's always the Democrats, isn't it? Always the Democrats. The latest news following this boycott: conservative investment fund divests from Tyson Foods over migrant hiring. Now, I'm not going to give anybody financial advice. I'm simply saying, if you think it is bad what Tyson's is doing, it follows logically that you should not be buying any of their products. As for financial advice, I can't say that. If it were me, what I would do personally would be, if I had any stock in anything related to Tyson's or connected in any way, I would also divest from it. But you do you. That I can't cross into. Fox Business reports conservative investment fund divests from Tyson Foods over migrant hiring. A conservative-oriented investment fund is divesting from Tyson's Foods. The American Conservative Values ETF, an actively managed exchange-traded fund created by Ridgeline Research LLC to cater to ideologically conservative investors, announced Monday that it divested its holdings from Tyson Foods and placed a, quote, refuse to buy rating on the food giant stock. Ridgeline founder and CEO Bill Flagg told Fox Business, we believe Tyson's management has blundered into a political minefield and should have known better. The risk of alienating a significant percentage of their customers outweighs any potential economic benefit. In a recent Pew Research poll, 80% of U.S. adults say the U.S. government is doing a bad job of handling the migrant influx. We have seen a negative impact of alienating customers recently with Bud Light and Target, and by divesting, we are protecting our shareholders. In 2022, Tyson Foods joined the nonprofit Tent Partnership for Refugees, which was started by Chobani Yogurt founder and CEO Hamdi Ulukaya to create a program for the private sector to help refugees find employment. Tyson committed. Okay, the page just completely reloaded on me. Let's jump back up to where we were. Thank you, Fox News. Tyson committed to hiring 2,500 refugees in the U.S. over the course of 3 years when it joined the partnership. A report by Bloomberg News indicated that Tyson officials met with migrants at Chobani's offices last month to hire 17 asylum seekers from Venezuela, Mexico, and Colombia for jobs at its plants in Tennessee. Then it hired 70 more in early March. The outlet reported that Tyson Foods' Garrett Dolan, who works in the multinational conglomerate's human resources department, said that migrants are very, very loyal and explained they've been uprooted and what they want is stability. What they want is a sense of belonging. Right now, my friends, please share this video. Let people know what Tyson is doing. And by all means, if you're a Democrat who loves what they're doing, then I encourage you to tell all your friends to buy all the Tyson's products in the world. And if you are an American-loving individual, be it conservative, libertarian, or even Democrat, and you are concerned about the massive influx of criminal aliens into this country, I am not talking about migrants. I love migrants. I'm talking about criminal aliens crossing the border without going through our legal processes. If you are worried about that, do not help fund it. Share this video. If you're viewing on YouTube, share that URL. If you're on Facebook, you need only click share right now. Quote, We would like to employ another 42,000 if we could find them, Dolan added in reference to the roughly 42,000 immigrants in the company's workforce of 120,000. He explained the meatpacking industry at large deals with turnover about 40% of the workers in factory roles each year, which means Tyson needs to hire about 52,000 workers this year to fill jobs that pay about $16.50 an hour plus benefits. And I'm pretty sure there are Americans who want those jobs. We saw this when Donald Trump, during his term, had several hundred, I believe it was around 800 criminal aliens deported. People in the left and the Democrats kept saying, nobody wants to do these jobs. They're taking jobs nobody wants. That's a lie. Any American would take a good paying job. Instead, what we get is unemployment, homelessness, drug abuse. What do we end up seeing when that happened? Local news saw rural folk showing up to get jobs at these plants. And they said, wait a minute, why are you coming to get a job here? Americans don't want these jobs. And they said, are you kidding? This job pays better than my last job. Of course I want to work here. Instead, they give these jobs to criminal aliens. And why? Now, I don't believe, for the most part, it's about saving money necessarily, or I think it really, I should take that back. I think it really comes down to avoiding legal liability, but saving money is a component of that. So that's fair. If you've got criminals working for you, they ain't saying nothing. So if there's an accident, you don't got to worry about insurance because these people ain't saying nothing. I remember watching a documentary about 15 years ago. A lot of these meat companies would run ads in Mexico saying, come work across the border and we'll pay you $15 an hour. The ads were running in Mexico and it attracted illegal immigrants, criminal aliens to the country. They would come and work at the plant. And then when it came time for payday, they would call ICE, the factory. ICE would show up and deport the criminal aliens, and the company didn't have to pay them. That saved them money. But right now what we're seeing is Democrats basically saying, let them come. And now these factories are saying, you mean I can bring on a worker without documentation, a criminal alien, and they can't report me for any wrongdoing because they're not here legally, but Democrats won't enforce against me? Win-win, baby. The news comes as Tyson announced last week that it will close a pork plant in Perry, Iowa in June that employs about 1,200 workers amid slowing demand for some products. Let's make that all of their plants. Tyson Foods has disputed that its closure of the plant and other facilities is related to hiring practices amid reports that it sought to link the two matters. To that, Flake said, that response reinforces that their management teams don't get it and how inadequate the response to Americans concerned about the open border. Just stop eating it. For one, let me just tell you this. It's breaded garbage. Look, my recommendation is you pop open that Public Square app right now, publicsquare.com, and you type in chicken. And just right off the bat, unfortunately, there's Good Ranchers. They're out of stock. And I know it's not so easy to buy like a whole chicken box with $164, but, you know, do what you can to support Public Square businesses. You've got Good Ranchers. You've got Dude Food, high quality meat for the American man. You got Stay Classy Meats. Shout out to Good Ranchers. Good Ranchers actually sponsored our live event in Martinsburg, West Virginia. So, of course, we're fans. And they sent us a trial package. I got to be honest, like, some of the best. They sent us Wagyu beef patty burgers. Some of the best burgers I've ever had. I mean, granted, we made them as we liked them. Mine was very rare. Public Square is the answer. This is a solution to the problem that is very, very simple. Shout out to T-Rex Pet Shop. Pops up right there. If your pets are looking for some meats. Public Square is not sponsoring this video in any way. I'm just saying we can't just complain all day. We can't just say, I can't believe they're doing this. We need real solutions. Public Square has been growing rapidly. More and more businesses are signing up. We've got Public Square sponsoring pro skateboarders. Shout out to Beaver Fleming. Amazing. I think we can win this one. But it means voting with our dollars. It means voting, and it means registering, getting your friends registered to vote. It means follow Scott Pressler. figure out what the plan is, what's going on. This election matters so much. But really, for so many of you, you may be thinking like, man, what do I do? Neutral position. Don't buy Tysons. Do not buy Tyson's foods. I want you to be healthy too. So I strongly recommend you get healthier stuff than perfectly crispy chicken strips. And, food tastes good. Recently, I've been, I got a personal trainer, so tracking my macros as of this morning for the first time in a long time. I actually had some breakfast. I'll tell you what I'm at. 59 carbs, 11 grams of fat, and 48 grams of protein already today. And eating clean as I can. I'm not so crazy about the seed oils stuff, but, I try to avoid things that just seem weird. I've been feeling a lot better. For breakfast, I made mochi. Just rice flour and water. And then I made a little mochi with jam. That's what it's all about. I don't think this stuff is good for you. I think it's bad for you. And I think they're bad people. They're trying, at $16.50 an hour could go to so many Americans who need jobs. The news comes as Tyson announced last week that it will close a pork plant in Perry. Okay, that I read. The company released a statement to emphasize that it opposes illegal immigration and that Tyson's workers are required to be legally authorized to work in the country. Let me explain that for you. Democrats are trying to give work permits to criminal aliens. That's what they're trying to do. In recent days, there's been a lot of misinformation in the media about our company, and we feel compelled to set the record straight. Tyson Foods is strongly opposed to illegal immigration, and we led the way in participating in the two major government programs to help employers combat unlawful employment, E-Verify, and the Mutual Agreement Between Government Employees program, the statement said. I love this. We led the way in participating in the two major government programs to help employers combat unlawful employment, E-Verify. Yeah, that's right. Tyson's not your friends. I got to tell you right now, I believe that this ETF investment fund is completely correct. It doesn't matter if you like Tyson's or not. What they are saying is there's going to be a boycott. They announced this here. I got the news from Yahoo. Thousands boycott Tyson's food amid plans to hire 42,000 asylum seekers in New York. Asylum seekers. Ridiculous. They have to be legal, though. They have to be legal. Democrats are going to give them work permits. They're trying to make these criminal actions legal and flood this country so they can maintain a Democrat electoral majority without actually convincing the American people. Instead of saying, this is the numbers game of elections. Instead of saying, sir, let me convince you to vote for me, they say, let's just bring in people who are going to pad our numbers, and then we win. Republicans think winning an election means going to someone and saying, please vote for me. Democrats think winning an election is, how do we get the numbers on our side? This boycott is happening. And that means it follows their stock will decline. I'm not telling you what to do. Maybe people are like, I'm going to buy the dip when Tyson Foods stock drops. But I don't see how a company like this is going to survive the Bud Light treatment. Bud Light's struggling. It's really amazing. Come June, we'll see their numbers normalize year over year. And thus, they'll start to claim growth has returned. But Bud Light's been just irrevocably damaged because of their decision to side with far left insanity against the American people. And this is where we're currently at. Tyson hiring migrants while laying off U.S. workers is the decimation of the American dream, top Republican says. Migrants, even Fox News, migrants, asylum seekers. They're not trying to hire migrants. I like migrants. I love legal immigration. I'm a big fan. I was talking to a buddy the other day. There's a thing called an exceptional talent visa. It's brilliant. If you are an exceptional talent in another country, professional athlete, musician, whatever, you can get a visa because we just like the fact that you're really good at what you do, and we want that here in this country. I love that. Brain draining other nations. A brain drain is when high-skilled workers leave a country. I love the idea that the U.S. offers, here's what we should do. If the Democrats really want to bring in a bunch of immigrants, it's actually quite simple. Instead of low-skilled workers coming to the country illegally, how about we agree to offer up exceptional talent visas in larger numbers? And then we tell the people of all the world, if you are an exceptional talent and can prove it, we'll actually give you a visa to come here. See, the problem with that is many of those people probably would vote Republican. I just think that's a reality. You bring someone in from another country as an exceptional talent, and they're going to say, I'd like to preserve and protect this country. I understand what's going on in the world. I'm smart enough to read the news and do a Google search, and Democrats are lying. I really do think the divide between Democrats and Republicans is largely intelligence. Seriously. Democrats will make the argument that Republicans are all stupid, backwards yokels and all that stuff, and they have to maintain that image because it only affects Democrats. Republicans know that it's not true. It's not even Republicans, libertarians too, post-liberals. I'm thinking of that Taylor Swift video. You Need to Calm Down, I think it is, where she shows a bunch of people who are opposed to gender ideology and LGBTQ policy as a bunch of toothless old backcountry yokels, as opposed to like what the RNC actually is, a bunch of chiseled, good-looking, tall men and busty, beautiful young women. It's funny because I'm half kidding, but it is kind of true. The DNC is a bunch of, and this is a fact, Democrats tend to be less attractive than Republicans. So why is it then that in all the videos they make, the Republicans, the right, look creepy and busted up? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? It's propaganda. Because people who are smart enough to see through the tricks, you can't fool them with this stuff. You know, it's that saying, Republicans think Democrats are misguided. Democrats think Republicans are evil. That's certainly changed. Now, I'd say it's more like Republicans think the Democrat voters are misguided and Democrat politicians are evil. Democratic politicians know that Republicans are desperately trying to save this country, but they are evil. And Democrat voters think all Republicans are evil. There you go. Now, whether or not the boycott actually results in a massive impact is yet to be seen. But I do got to give a shout out to Julian's Rum at It's Julian's Rum on Twitter saying, imagine working at Tyson Foods, then getting vaxxed so you don't get fired, then getting fired anyways, then getting replaced by illegals who aren't vaxxed. This is the amazing thing. Tyson Foods in 2021 to require COVID-19 vaccinations for its U.S. workforce. So you were like, I can't lose my job. I just have to comply. Here, let me suck the toes of the Tyson executive. And you did. It's sad and it's creepy, but many people did. Truth be told, most people who watch this probably didn't. Forced medication. It's insane. And imagine then. Now they're bringing in asylum seekers who are not vaccinated. This is what's happening to your country. It's happening all around us. There is a solution, my friends. Public Square. They've sponsored us in the past. They sponsored a couple of our live events. We're big fans. We're good friends. And I'm super excited about everything they're working on. I remember watching, I'm watching Instagram, and I see this dude do a double backflip on a skateboard. You know, I skateboard. I'm excited. This guy's sponsored by Public Square. Shout out again, Beaver Fleming. He's a good dude, and he's great at skateboarding. And I'm really excited to see that Public Square is making these moves, and they're growing so rapidly. And it's so simple. We all got to buy stuff. This is the solution. Boycotts can be tough. You go to the grocery store, Tysons is right there. You're like, look, I just want to get some chicken strips for my family. It's easy. I can throw them in the oven, bake them. We're good to go. We got food. I don't live in an area where I can drive to a farm, right? For me, to be honest, I have a farm literally 5 minutes down the road. It's awesome. They got fresh made farm cheese. They've got raw pet milk, not for human consumption. Yet everybody knows people be drinking that stuff. But it's against the law to drink raw milk. I'm actually, I don't drink raw milk. It's fine or whatever, you know, do what you want to do your thing. I got no problem with pasteurized milk or whatever. But for some of you, you may not have that good farm. Well, look, I can't guarantee that Public Square has everything you need. Because certainly you're still going to need to go to the grocery store. And even right now, Good Ranchers is out of stock of their chicken. What do we got here? Good Ranchers does have whole box chicken. I got to tell you, this stuff right here, it's going to be infinitely healthier, better for your family than you're going to get with that Tyson's garbage. Now, I'm not trying to do an ad campaign or anything like that. I'm just saying, this is the inverse. We can boycott all day and night. But what are we doing to actually shift the direction of economics in this country? The boycott is one thing, but sometimes you still need to buy stuff. Who do you buy from? Instead of just saying, oh no, a company did wrong, let's boycott. How about we make it proactive, boycott? How about we make it as simple as this? Instead of waiting for a company to do wrong and hoping what we're buying from is doing right, we literally just go to Public Square and buy from companies that are outright telling us they're doing right. That's why I love Public Square. That's why I think it's a step in the right direction, but it's got to go further. The best part is they have a map that'll show you all the local businesses you can shop at that have made this pledge to support American values, the family, free speech, all of that good stuff. I know it's kind of funny because I feel like I'm doing a sponsor spot, but I'm literally not. I cannot do a segment where I'm like, do not buy from bad company without giving you an option for how we actually solve the problem. Look at this. Tucker Carlson X Public Square. There you go. This is the way. And there's a bunch of reasons to boycott Tysons. We could have boycotted them for their vaccine mandate. I want to talk to you about what's happening in this country. And so beyond the Tysons boycott, my morning segment was talking about the permanent electoral majority that Democrats were involved in, the plan. Elon Musk posted this video. And in it, I talked to you about squatters. This is the next play. It's a perfect example of what is happening to this country on the micro scale. The next segment that's going to be coming up at 4, we'll be discussing the issue of squatting in this country, which has seemingly gotten worse and will get worse as time goes on, because in the end, you will own nothing and you will be happy. It is not just about bringing in a permanent political majority. It's about destroying the historical wealth of generations. The next segment, a woman who inherited a home from her parents, only to find within not even a month, as she's trying to sell the property, squatters took it over. When she called the police arrested her. That segment will be at 4 p.m. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.